The Philippines has a 2 trillion peso question to answer right now, and it's related to the US-Canada trade war. Let me explain. It started in January 24 when the US threatened to put 100% tariffs on all Canadian goods if Canada pushed through a certain trade deal with China. Instead of complying with the US, Canada decided to form a 40-country coalition, including Australia, the EU, Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, and other countries that represent a total of 40% in global trade. Their game plan? To stop using the US dollar. This has massive implications because if 40% of global trade stops using the US dollar, then demand and the value of the US dollar go down dramatically. It crashes. What does this mean for the Philippines? Three things. First, remittances. 2.1 trillion pesos is remitted to the Philippines annually from OFWs across the globe. Most of that is in dollars, and 40% of that specifically comes from the US for 800 billion pesos worth. Now imagine with me, currently the dollar is worth 59 pesos. So if you're an OFW that has a paycheck of $1,000, you send money back home, it converts to 59,000 pesos. If the US dollar crashes and it becomes worth 50 pesos instead, that $1,000 becomes 50,000 instead. You just lost 9,000 pesos worth of that paycheck that you worked so hard for. This means that OFWs and their families will have a much harder time, and the amount of money flowing into the Filipino economy will be drastically reduced. Two, the BPO industry, or as you might know it, the call center industry. I want you to know it accounts for about a tenth of the entire Philippines' GDP. It employs 1.9 million Filipinos, and for every one of those call center workers that is employed by the BPO industry, they create 3 to 4 more jobs for the people that drive them, that prepare their food. That's a total of 7 million Filipinos that rely on the BPO industry. It's one of the two legs propping up the Philippine economy along with remittances. I want you to know that if the US dollar crashes and it becomes worth less, then it becomes more expensive for US companies to hire people in the Philippines to take their calls for them. And the majority of the BPO industry is reliant on the US. So that just means that if the US dollar crashes, the BPO industry is possibly going to be wiped out. That's 7 million jobs. Three, exports. Every year we earn 800 billion pesos from exporting goods to the US. If the dollar becomes worth less, they stop buying from us. That's again another 800 billion lost from our economy. So we have a decision to make because by June, the Philippines is being invited to be a founding member of the Digital Bridge, that network that Canada's founding where we no longer have to use the US dollar. This means we'll be protected from price shocks from the US dollar and will also be a preferred trading partner of these 40 other countries. But if we choose to join them, the US could stop trading with us and stop protecting the West Philippine Sea, and they're our only protection against China. The Philippines is also currently the ASEAN chair. This means that we're not making this decision just for us. If we decide to join, the entirety of Southeast Asia follows with us. So the 2 trillion peso question is, which